It is me. Okay, so this is fun. So let's see, because Miley was good. So do you have any opinions on the whole Chloe Normani situation, or do you just want to get to the classic stuff?
I don't give a crap about Chloe. I don't give a crap about Normani. I give a crap about my name being used for clout.
Okay.
Congratulations. Congratulations on your clout, on getting your video to have the most engagement out of your last like 50 videos by using my name.
Wait, but
Okay.
hold up, because you're talking about, ooh, okay. I didn't think this was gonna, become a battle royale. I mean, it's not really. It doesn't need to, but you're telling me my videos aren't getting engagement, but at least my videos are me. You're uploading classics. You're uploading quite a your stuff. So how are you taking credit for
Are
all
you
of your stuff?
uploading
Because
anything of value? Are you providing anything of value? I am. The
you're
girls love
you're quite a
classics.
your backwash. I mean, you're quite a your backwash. So everything that he's done, it's like you're almost like a reanimation of Quadier. Like
You know
nothing you
what?
can do or say
And
is something you can
and
do
I
without him. So how are you reading me and my name?
live for it. You know why? You know why I created classics? It's because I wish a bitch would have done that for me. I live for the shits. I'm here for the shits. I'm here for the giggles. Okay. When I created classics, I was like, okay, the shit is stale. We're tired of watching these 8 hour rants. Quadier, you don't know
Mm-hmm.
what you're doing anymore. That your time is up. So what I figured is the shit's not gonna get better. The girls want entertainment. Let's put on a fucking show. And I
Okay,
got enjoyment out of seeing everyone's comments, how happy they were, just imagining them like sitting with their popcorn with their little drink. Like, I would want to be in that position. I would want someone to do that for me. You know
you
what I'm
would want.
saying?
Hold up, because I'm like, let's address some of the points I made. So you're
Okay.
saying you did this for entertainment, you did this for a kiki, and you're saying I just forgot the
Yes.
type. But my thing is, so did you not feel bad when he's sitting here saying all this stuff? Let me try to remember some of the quotes. He's like, here I am trying to get this stuff right, and you F's, you this. He's sitting here throwing things. He's like, I'm a hex yo, like, and you're editing this, you're putting this together, remixing it. Do you not feel a sense of guilt? Like, wait a minute, like, this is another human being. This is a person, like, who's going through these hardships. And did you not feel bad? Like, wait a minute, like, maybe this is wrong?
At the moment, I was taking it all in, but if you watch the full 1 hour and 47-minute tirade, you realize he goes through many moods during that live. And in the end, he's very complacent and very happy that he was able to manipulate his audience into sending him endless amounts of cash. You see something change in his eyes. So, no, I don't feel bad. I mean, if you watch those isolated clips, it looks like, okay, this is a madman. He needs help. But toward the end, you realize he's dragging out the video, just taking people's cash. And that's kind of the note he continues on for a while.
But I mean,
So,
that's fair. I guess there is but it's like, there's also it's kind of like weather versus climate. Because weather's like, I'm pretty sure weather is what happens now. Like, if I look outside, what the weather is now, but climate is like overall overarching. So I feel like you could say in the video that the very upset moments the are only temporary. But if you look at other things like the red lipstick live, where he's wishing death on people and like
this ain't about
coming
the
for
red
people.
lipstick live. This is about your video with the little Azalea Banks thumbnail about me trying to play Little Miss Innocent, Mary Had a Little Lamb,
Oh my
as
goodness.
if you ain't never done nothing wrong because your ego was hurt that I literally just promoted you on my channel, to be honest. So I'm
But hold
misunderstanding
up,
your
but
argument.
no, I feel like I can be pressed about the video, but I also can be critical of what you're doing. Because if I'm going to address your points, you have to address my point. So my point here is the whole weather versus climate thing. So
Mm.
my thing is, your argument is basically you're saying, oh, because Quadier, like, you justified making the points about the YouTube is trying to destroy me live stream because you're like, oh, well, it wasn't all bad. But the point is, if you look at the climate rather than the weather, there's clear elements of like a lot of anger and unresolved trauma in his content that you poke fun at. And it's like, I'm pretty sure that video hit 10,000 views and you like celebrate it in the community tab of, oh my God, like I hit 10,000 views. But it's like on that video where you were poking fun at those moments where he wasn't happy. So, like, I guess my question is, even though those, you can argue that those are only parts of the stream that where he was manipulating his audience, I guess, can't you also see that there's a climate of negativity and upset feelings that are at some point like rooted to you and you continuing to use his content?
It's not that deep to me, to be honest. It's not that deep.
But hun, see,
Because
that's the issue though, hun. Like,
as an
here's my thing.
anonymous channel, I'm not attaching myself to this. I'm not. Qlassics is nobody. Qlassics is the dirt.
Oh no, hun. Like, see, here's my thing. Because you keep trying to do this. Yes, it matters. No, it doesn't matter. Because you clearly were happy when you hit 1K subscribers. So, and you also were clearly
just
happy.
Community. That's just marketing. That's just community keeping up with the social media posting.
No. Because you try to say,
that's
oh,
just
my
the
video
algorithm.
didn't get XYZ engagement, and you're clearly comparing my engagement to your engagement or whatever as some metric of success or value.
Because
so
we're both
like,
we're providing entertainment. We're trying to provide value to our audiences, and I take pride in providing value to my audience. So,
and I do too, but I guess my issue is if I clock, like, whenever I clock you for your actions, then it turns into a, oh, it doesn't matter, it's just a da-da-da. But it's like 193 videos. That's literally more videos than I have on my actual channel with my actual content.
Okay,
so it's
when
like,
we say one,
clearly
let's not be facetious, Mr. Esoteric, because 193 is not me sitting there creating, editing, da 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 da. It's like boom, boom, boom. 90% of those are already done, and you know that.
But you also went through the process. Like, I remember because one of the story times you like crop it and edit it to like, what is it like to, I guess, make it better. There's a word for it, but I'm not sure the exact word for it. But it's like, it's not, I don't know what it is, but you were like refreshing his content, like restoring it. Restoring it's the word. So it's like, and not only that, you were also on like Lipstick Alley and stuff, like promoting it or whatever. So it's like,
it's a hobby.
Whatever you're doing is taking engagement and time and energy. Arguably more than some people are putting on their own actual
fun hobby. It's a fun hobby. It's a pastime.
See, that's my issue, hun. Like, you're doing this thing where every time I'm like, I try to hold you to task for something you did on the channel, it's like, oh, it's just this fun little hobby. It's this fun little doodad thing I do in my free time. But it's like, hun, like, no, you put a lot of time and energy into this. Like, you clearly are some type of interested person in Quadir's life and his goings and the things he does.
Fan like everybody else, but once I realized there was no coming back from the dark side, here's my thought.
But how can you say you're like everybody else? Like, suddenly Bluetooth made 2 videos. I made 4 videos overall. Like, you and, I hate to say his name, Julian, were the ones who really did the most. Grace made like 3 videos. Irrelevant Aaron's videos and suddenly Bluetooth's videos aren't even up anymore. So it's like, how are you trying to say, oh, we're all in the same camp? And even to like your videos, like my videos, he gave me a little read and then he went about his way. But he clearly was upset to the point of like, because people called for a wellness check, and that was because the YouTube response to your channel that wasn't deleted. So it's like, how is it that you can like keep playing this game of, oh, it's just a hobby, oh, it's just a kiki? Like, hun, you had an impact on him that was adverse.
I don't know. I'm not gonna delve into the reasons why, but I will say maybe part of me does have.
I mean, you say that I'm not getting engagement, so let's get them.
You are now.
Show,
you're welcome. You are now.
You're welcome. Help, since I can't do it on my own, hun, then like, you know, give me a show. Don't sit here and, you know,
I'll give it shine. Oh, here it is. So
okay. This interview
honestly
time.
Let's go back to the beginning, like Hillary Duff. Okay. So
that's a little old for me, a little old reference, but I'll take you there. Okay.
Well, okay. So the reason I made when Classics was first created, it was right after, well, shortly after all of the classic videos disappeared from YouTube.
Oh yeah, the whole
I
little fake out thing.
it was meant to be just a little underground page, just a little literal archive, no commentary, no nothing, no good, no bad, just for the lipstick girls
Mm-hmm.
to be able to watch and get their life like we always have been. Some undercover dirt queen decided to throw it in Quadir's face. Oh, look at what they're doing, da 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 da, and it kind of snowballed from there. Then it
Mm-hmm.
became the unhinged rants, and then me wanting to respond to some of the things, the horrible things that he was saying and doing, made Classics into more of a commentary with the edits and the, you know,
Okay.
all that jazz. And it's been over a year, to be honest. It's not like, I mean, it is a hobby, you know. So I don't know. Honestly, my plan was upload whatever 10, 15, 20 videos. He figures out how to delete it. It gets deleted. Boom. We go back to the shadows and just move on with our lives. But it was kind of just more entertaining, the fact that it was not getting deleted, not getting deleted, not getting deleted. I was like, well, why should I delete it myself? You know, the people are enjoying the content. It's creating more entertainment for everybody. So, hey,
So what are your issues with Quadir? Like, what's your journey with Quadir?
that he's a failure
Oh,
and
hold
he
up.
doesn't
And
take.
do you mind if I put Classics is live with a pop of culture to drum up some little whatever?
Sure,
Since
why
apparently I
not?
need so much help, you know.
Do what you gotta do. I don't care.
Okay, hold up. Let me share the link. But so basically, yep. So what was your journey with Quadir? Where like, what made you say, okay? Because since you say he's a failure, clearly you were invested at one point. So what point? What did he do or
I don't
say
know.
that
I
made
don't
you
know if I
say,
want to turn this into a whole let's break down everything about the creator of classics, the legend.
I mean,
I just want
you can be, you
let's
can.
address the points from the 29-minute video you decided to drop while
Okay,
I was on the.
okay. Well, I'll address.
Mhm.
Okay, well, we can have concessions. So I'm like, I guess my thing is this. I mean, the live is alive. So if anyone pops in the live, that's what it is. But I can, if I address what you want me to address, then I guess on some level, I guess I can give you some like, oh, if you say, oops, I didn't mean to say that or something. When I re-upload this to YouTube, then I can give you the discretion to say like, well, accidentally mentioned this, but I didn't mean to. So can you cut that out? Because even me, I don't want to have all my information out here or whatever. So if
Mhm.
you give me the information I want, then you also get the discretion of. I mean, obviously you get
Oh,
discretion in general, but I'm just saying, work with me.
I have no interest in negotiating. I don't think the video was deserved yesterday because honestly, no, I'll tell you the mindset of honestly when I posted the video, have you ever? I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't really thinking one way. I wasn't like, yeah, fuck a pop of culture, let's get him. I was just it was more entertaining from the creative standpoint of look at Quadir, like it's like he's doing a duet with somebody that he's been a rival with. So it's kind of like interesting. I also posted on Lipstick Alley a clip of Grace harmonizing with Quadir, and I'm like, it's just funny the juxtaposition of somebody who Quadir would probably hate to be in the same room with, and they're singing on the same song. That was
Okay,
kind
I
of
mean, I get what you're.
my
Okay, I get what you're
mindset.
saying there, and
So, but
potentially, I
then
feel like
when
I.
you went so far as to just like get it striked real fast and you took such offense to it, I was like, dang, like, do you not? If I put Kelly Clarkson on a Ariana thing, like, I'm sure Kelly Clarkson would be like, oh my God, you used that snippet of me singing. She'd be like, oh yeah, rock out. Like, I
Well,
would love to sing with her.
hold up, this thing, because I'm like, I also was pressed because I saw that because I'm like, let's call a spade because I feel like I also noticed. And I mean, I don't feel obligated to anyone supporting or promoting my content, but I did feel a way because I'm like, I saw that you were still rocking with Julian or whatever, and then because you posted that thing with Julian like in the community tab or something or whatever, and also too, it's like you were saying like, oh, it's just a joke, but then once it got removed, and then you were also trying to. I think I guess one you were like with the community tab, and you supporting
I did
Julian.
take I did take petty offense to my video getting strikes, and I did have the opportunity to contest it, and I decided not to because I was thinking he doesn't want it up. I'll just leave it down. It's fine. But I did take like just immature offense to it, and then I got over it, and I deleted the link to the Odyssey and everything because I was like, okay, whatever. Julian, honestly, like I said, going back to the beginning, I was bored with the state of the Quniverse, which is why Qlassics was created. And in the Quniverse, Julian was the perfect villain. Like when you look at the Kabuki edits, which I'm not Kabuki, all you simple-minded hoes, they like to when they just don't know what's going on, someone puts one little theory out and everybody runs with it.
I said
They have nothing else
potentially.
to
I
look
said potentially.
necessarily, but I mean everybody. Like in the beginning, they're like, "Oh, Quadir is Qlassics. Someone is someone." Yeah. So anyway, let me word this properly. Like I said, for me, Julian was the perfect villain in this story arc. So that's why I'm not gonna drag Julian, because if he wasn't there, 50% or more of the entertainment we've happened. Like the perfect video responses, the digs, like the sharpness, the wit. You can say what you want about the other stuff and get into the nitty gritty, but he provided the entertainment. I'm sorry, but he did.
But I guess here's the thing, like, I made those videos because I didn't like Quadir also, but I guess I inadvertently become a part. Everybody other than you inadvertently became a part of the conversation or whatever. So I guess that's kind of like, because you're like saying, oh well, Julian was the perfect enemy or whatever, or villain or whatever, which is like, if this was an anime or if this was a sitcom, then yeah, or a 44-minute sitcom, but this is real life, and it's like,
is it real life?
Yes.
Or is it YouTube?
What?
It's just YouTube, to be honest. Well, I guess
that's
to
the
most
thing.
of us.
That's like what you get to do as someone who's not invested in your content. Well, you are and aren't, who claims you're not invested, like when it's convenient for you. So it's like you get to like have this very much like, we're kind of like game pieces in your Qlassics little game or whatever, where it's like, oh well, if Quadir's not pulling the views, or if Quadir's kind of bored, then it's like, oh well, let's pull this little game piece of a pop of culture and add a little spice and add a little with Julian and blah, or whatever. But it's like, since you're not affiliated with your channel, I feel like it's easier for you to kind of be so separated from it, and oh, it's just YouTube, because it's not really as connected to you.
But it's not for all of us, besides the person who decided to use his government name on the internet and make a horrible personality out of it, who Quadir Howard. Like, you don't have
I guess it's kind of,
there's no real Julian Echelon, there's no real pop of culture. Like, we're all separate people in real life.
I mean,
so,
yes, but like, if I hope to actually grow on YouTube and do things, then eventually my actual identity and stuff will be linked to my content and brand. So that's, I guess, why I feel differently than some people do. Because it's like with Qlassics, you can literally stop uploading and then like just go about your business or whatever. But it's like, even now,
which
like,
I'm kind of thinking about doing a lot recently.
But I thought it was just a kiki. I thought it was just a fun time. I thought, it was just a hobby. But now that it seems, because that's my thing, because it feels like you don't agree with the points, but now it's feeling like also like potentially the heat is being brought to you by me holding you accountable or whatever. And then now
it's not like, even that. It's honestly not even that. That's like poster, just like whatever, dude. Like, I don't get it. But I do think it's really clear, and you're being a little bit what's the word? What is the word? What's the word for when a person is like, that's quite a quote. But like, you're not being forthcoming in the fact that it is the fact that I made that little video that sparked you doing this whole dissertation on Qlassics and da-da-da. You would have gone about your way. Maybe you were subscribed, maybe you weren't. I don't have all that information, but you were just fine with everything that was being posted on Qlassics until it came to you and your little ego got hurt. And people called you out on that in the comments, and you got everything to say under the sun, but let's just call a spade a spade.
Well, I'm like, well, I guess since you're gonna throw the ball in my court, I guess I'll go there. But I guess one thing you also have to consider, because I feel like you're also kind of playing dumb. Like, you clearly seem to be very observant to the movements and what the going ons of what's going on in the Dirt Queen community on YouTube and on Lipstick Alley. So my thing is, it was very clear, especially once Quadier stopped posting content and privated his old content, that it got dry. So I feel like that's definitely something I noticed where my covers, I mean, people can feel a way about them or whatever, but the less content Quadier was making, it's like people are trying to make $1 out of 50 cents with trying to either drum up a read about me or do this or do that. Because it's like, I definitely feel like there are some people, they need either, if they're not reading Quadier, they got to be doing something. I mean, they could find other hobbies or interests, but it's like they need to read something. So I feel like we can't sit here and play. Like, yes, if I'm gonna say I was annoyed by the video, like, I feel like you can't. You seem to be very attuned with the Quadia Howard.
Are you sung L on Lipstick Alley?
What?
Are you
No.
sung L on Lipstick Alley?
I'm not. I only have like a alt where I just read stuff on Lipstick Alley, and then
You're
some
not
people bring me.
You're not Normanti.
No.
You're not Sung Expression.
No.
From YouTube.
I am Sung Expression because that's where I told Julian.
Also, you're Sung Expression, but you're not Sung L.
Yes.
You really okay? That's what we're going with.
Yes.
So you don't go back and forth with the girls on Lipstick Alley, Mr. I like dissertations. I like arguing back and forth with people in the YouTube comments. You don't have a Lipstick Alley account that you regularly use to talk about pop culture, Mr. A Pop of Culture.
No, I watch because
you do all this research on Mr. Quadier Howard for 2, 3, 4 videos, but I'm sorry.
Why would I be on Lipstick Alley when they're talking shit on me? Because there's nothing else to do. Why would I be on there?
I don't think you're currently on there. I haven't seen you post in a while, but I remember a certain Sung L with a certain Normani obsession that kind of aligns to all the things I see you talk about on a regular basis. And I really think that was you. And I think the girls were dragging you. They weren't living for you. Everybody had you on timeout and ignore and whatever the other features are. And now that you come with this little Mr. Innocent,
they're mean.
Now that you're with this little Mr. Innocent, look at my little bokeh effects. Look at my little YouTube. I'm just a little college student with a camera. Everybody eats your shtick up because you look innocent compared to me and Julian. So now everybody's forgetting all these fonts. No, all these fonts hated Sung L, Skunk L, this and that. You're listening to him right now, folks. From Vixen's mouth.
Sung L.
From Vixen's mouth.
I am not Sung L. I'm Sung Expression. I did because I'm what's it called? Because I told Julian I was Sung L because I mean not Sung L, Sung Expression.
Because Freudian slip.
Oh my gosh, no. What's it called? I'm Sung Expression because Julian was claiming oh, you don't support my videos, etc., etc. But I was supporting his videos as Sung Expression.
I hope someone's recording this. Y'all better get this.
Get what?
Get this back. No. Okay.
So here's my thing where I'm confused with this whole I can't be a college student with a bokeh camera or whatever and I'm like fake. How am I fake when what's it called? Like how because you're saying because I don't know, it seems like that's your issue with me. You're trying to like create this like moral high ground. Because
you try to play Mr. Innocent, like, look, I show my face, I just provide the facts, and I call people out, and I'm just Mr. Righteous, like one of these YouTubers, like.
But no, I don't. I don't. When do I make myself into Mr. Righteous?
You have this secret side to you.
I was with my Quadier Howard commentary.
Okay. Well, you're a lot more saucy on your anonymous account. I'm just saying that.
How is it what do you have? Because someone talks about Normani. Normani is a female pop artist. I also like Aaliyah and Brandy. But I guess my thing is, so because you feel I'm this account on Lipstick Alley, is that why you it seems like you're trying to like expose me or whatever as this what's it called? Like, because I'm this
it's not necessarily that I'm trying to expose you. It's more to the lips.
But if the rats, if they're rats, then you're also in the. You can't. If there are Lipstick Alley rats, then you're
They're
a
so
part of
vague.
that group, and those are your strongest fans. What?
They all ganged up. They hated Skunk L, which I don't blame them because that account, that font, whether it's you or not, was annoying as fuck. I'm like, but yet you
But
live
how
for
are
pop
they?
culture,
But
and
so,
it's the
but
same person.
193 videos. 193 videos.
What about my upload count? What about it?
That shows, even if a font was annoying or whatever, that doesn't, like, even if they're annoying, first off, if somebody's annoying, that the annoying isn't a barometer of good or bad, because people can be annoyed. People are annoyed when people say that Quadier's music isn't fully bad. People will get annoyed if I say that Prince of Tides is kind of catchy. Like, people get annoyed for a lot of different reasons. So annoyed isn't a barometer. And even on Lipstick Alley, you can get banned for calling out transphobia and other issues. So like so when on a toxic space like Lipstick Alley, being annoyed or being critiqued isn't necessarily a barometer for, oh, you're a good person or a bad person. And like, it's all very weird considering that Lipstick Alley is so toxic. It's weird that you would use somebody being unpopular in Lipstick Alley, because arguably being unpopular in Lipstick Alley could point to you being somebody who's an advocate for things like trans people who are extremely hated on Lipstick Alley. So it's like, it's very weird that you would use that as this barometer of, I'm such a bad person, if I'm the account you're speaking of.
It's not that you're a bad person. I guess it's just to point out the fickleness of that website. People will be with you one day, they'll be against you the next day. It's whatever.
But you use that website to promote. So it's like, I feel like that's my issue. Is it's like you want to play these two roles of, oh, I'm just a hobbyist who just does this. But it's like, there is some big vindictiveness. There is some issue you have with Quadier, where because even for me, I lost interest in talking about Quadier after about video 3. That's why video 4 is on the legends, because I feel more emotions toward the legends than Quadier. What else could I say? You have more of a vested interest in Quadier than I do, but somehow I'm the bad person for making 3 videos and having the gall and audacity to show myself on camera and have aspirations for being a content creator. I'm the worst ever.
So what's your qualm at this point? What's the issue?
The issue
What's
is,
the question?
I guess, like, on some level, like, I guess I'll address that point again because I feel like you didn't really cover it. Like, you knew the girls were reading my singing down because so it's like, you can say, oh, I was just trying to, maybe that was your intention of, oh, like, you knew the girls were reading me down, so that's why it made sense to post my cover. So, and people got their life to me getting read and clocked. So it's like, don't sit here and try to play this game of, oh, I'm just a hobbyist who just,
Do you
because like, it
think
seems
you're a
like
good singer?
yes.
Do you think
But I
you're
mean,
an
is that
average
something?
singer?
I think I'm a good singer with issues that need to be resolved for me to actually do something with singing.
So when you post your content, is it because you're proud of it, or it's because you're saying,
That's
"Hey
why
guys"?
I was making the Can of Pop of Culture Sing video, like, because that's what's being addressed in that script. That's one of the reasons why I was so frustrated with you making that video, because I was already getting all this
You
heat.
told us
So it's
50
like,
different times, "Hey guys, check out my cover channel of Pop Culture Sings." So of course, I finally checked it out. I didn't check it out the first 20 times or whatever that I saw you say that, or on the Quadier videos. But then I finally checked it out, and then no, what was I watching? I was watching back the replay of the Quadier video where people were in the chat comments, and one person commented while he was singing "Have You Ever." They were like, "No, a Pop of Culture sang it better," and I was like, "Wait, Pop of Culture sang the same song as Quadier?" Then I went and found it, and I was like, "Oh my god, I gotta do a mashup."
I guess,
And
see, that's
I
fair.
didn't know you hated your voice that much that you couldn't handle
No,
it
I
with the
don't hate my
backtrack.
voice. I don't hate
Apparently,
my singing.
the acapella. All of a sudden, you sound angelic when you're acapella, but all of a sudden, it's demonic when I add the actual like
No,
music
that was the
behind
point
it.
with the Quadier thing, because I feel like that was what made it very worse.
Girl.
The point, I guess my thing is, I think I'm a good singer, but I think here's the issue, and that's kind of like what I don't think you get as someone who's not really a content creator putting yourself out there. I can like my singing and think I'm a good singer, but also too, like, even if you look at my Quadier videos and just my content in general, if you look at my first Quadier video, and you look at that little stand or like whatever you call it, like I had a tripod, it was like a less expensive tripod. So if you watch that video, you can literally see the angle change throughout the video because I was a less experienced content creator. So throughout me making content, my content continues to improve, like quality would continue to rise. It continues to get better. And that's the same stuff with my cover singing or whatever. So I
But
guess
honey,
some of you
what
might think,
you grown. We passed puberty. The voice doesn't change that much. Do you see the people who audition for American Idol season 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 coming back sounding the same damn way?
well, what's it? But that's the issue though, because even that's another point I'm making my video. Certain songs suit my voice more, and certain songs I recorded without proper lack of
So, what
preparation.
song would
Because
you say is like your song? We're like, that's the one I know. I know I got that one. No note is too hard for me. I'm in the shower. I'm grooving. That is my jam that I know I can slay. What's your song, Mr. Pop?
okay, Usher. Well, that's the funny thing because I actually prepared some songs. Cause like I knew that my singing may come up in this live, but now I'm kind of like, since it's kind of turned into, uh, I could sing now, but I'm kind of like, and I mean, people can if you can sing in high pressure situations, or whatever. But I'm just kind of annoyed because it's like, so I'm not trying to like make 5011 excuses, but I would say like the songs I prepared to sing were Usher, Climax, Bridge, Monica Love
Don't be
Always on
tardy
Me.
for the party. Oh, oh.
What
Okay.
else? The other one, Whitney, The Greatest Love of All, and then Colors of the Wind by Pocahontas or whatever. So those were the songs I was gonna sing. But I think that's an issue I have with people, and because I get like the outside perspective of either you can sing or you can't. It's not that complicated. But I also can see in my own covers, like certain covers, like my Chasing Cars cover or my Empire What Is Love cover, have like extremely positive reception, whereas other covers don't because there's a large discrepancy in the quality, if not. So I think my issue is it's more. I feel like for me, my issue is like when I listen to my voice, and it's not just I love my voice because I'm me and I'm a singer and and I feel myself or whatever. Because I think that's something we see with Quadir of because I did it, I think I'm so great. I'm very. That's like the point I was making. Like I'm very self critical of myself. So I'm like, it's not that I think that everything I
Somebody,
posted was
sorry,
great.
I don't want to interrupt you, but somebody in the comments is asking, are you wanting to sing professionally or is this just for fun?
I mean, like that's another point of making the video. I went to obviously I bring it up in the intro. I went to college. I have a degree, so I'm not somebody who's like Quadir, where I'm like I'm not going to work. I'm just going to sit here and sing and cross my fingers that something's going to happen. I'm somebody who is going to pursue other interests and other means of income, and even just making content, getting a job in the real world, potentially going to grad school. I may or may not be in the process of applying to grad school. So I'm not somebody who's like, all I want to do in life is sing, and that's the end, period. I'm someone who likes singing, and if that opportunity presented itself, I think I do have a good voice and I have the potential where I could do something. But even with my content, like I know I have other talents and things. So I never was somebody who expected singing to be the end all be all. Because there's some people like Fantasia, and this is no shade to Fantasia, I live for her, but people have kind of made the argument, like if singing didn't work out for like or some other people, they make the argument of, oh well, what else were they gonna do? So for me as a singer, I'm not someone I don't like with I could never be a Quadir Howard where I'm sitting here relying on Cash App stuff for income. Like I want to build, I want to be someone who has like actual income and like multiple streams of income, etc. So I'm not going to sit here and if I would like I I I'm like I guess my point is I'm not someone who's just relying on my singing as it is. Like would I feel comfortable not working anywhere and then just relying on my singing as it is today as a way to sustain myself? No, but I believe
So
in my
you think
singing
that
and I
there's
like to
some
sing.
you think that there's some possibility in the future that your singing can translate into money, into income, into what?
I think that's a possibility and even if it was my commentary was what really was pushing me like if let's say I made it to 100K on YouTube off commentary and story times, et cetera, et cetera. And then and I'm like making enough where I can invest in like a good, because my goal and that stuff you would see in the Can of Pop Culture Sing video would be one, getting a voice coach to help me to sing, and then, well, not to help me to sing, to develop the singing that I already have, and then two, to get a mentor specifically in R&B and or gospel style singing. So once I get those, because certain stuff like breath control, because that's the thing with singing where it's all connected. Because if you don't have the breath control where it needs to be, because some people view singing as just a black or white um, either you can sing or you can't. Either you got it or you don't. And some people view it like that, but I've definitely seen with singers it's something you can develop. And I do think there is something there that can be developed. So I guess my point is I want to get the basics like the breath control, all the other stuff in order. And then I want to go
So
to someone who can help me.
in the
Hmm?
limited clip that was included in the Have You Ever Quadir mashup video, how would you rate your performance in that video?
Well, I don't really like the issue with that because that's one of the things that annoyed me about the Have You Ever, because that's the part of evolving as a content creator.
Not
Because
somebody in the comments called the Vixen. Girl, go
truth
on
be
though.
told, like the point
Sorry,
of
go
that
ahead.
video was like trying to ride the wave of, ooh, people are talking about the Brandy Monica verses, so I'm gonna sing some Brandy Monica songs. But Have You Ever, truth be told, is not one of my favorite Brandy songs. Like it's a number one, but it's not one of my favorite Brandy songs. So I don't even know the song that well. So it's like if we're gonna rate my singing, that's not the song I picked because I don't even know half the damn words. That's why I was kind of annoyed at that fact that you picked that one because I'm like Monica Love All Over Me, even the Brandy I Dedicate.
But I don't think it's necessarily about knowing the words, because you see like people when they forget the words, they kind of just hum along. They have like the little like they know the
I mean, I
general
get it. Like,
tonality, the
it seems like you're
melody.
very vested in like this idea that I'm not a good singer, and that's another part of the pop of culture
I'm
thing
not saying that.
video.
I just want to know what you're thinking about
My thinking
yourself.
is I'm someone with a good voice, a solid voice, but I need to work to my strengths and while also minimizing my weaknesses. So, like that Chasing Cars cover that got very good like feedback, maybe over 100 likes, in that What Is Love cover, like that works with like I feel like a lower part of my voice, and it doesn't really go too far. Like I can do some higher notes and parts in my higher register, but it's just what I can do no matter what, like solid, good 100% of the time. Like that Usher climax part. There are certain parts of certain songs, like there's songs and there's certain stuff I can do very well. But I think the issue is, and that's why I want to get vocal training. If you're someone who's seeing certain issues are going to rear their ugly head if until you handle them or whatever. So even with breath control, because I actually went to a voice coach, and you would probably not believe it. She didn't sit here and like tell me I was the worst thing ever. When I went to the voice coach, one of the things she said was everything is connected to the breath. So she was saying, because I was singing "Let It Flow" by Toni Braxton, and some of the notes in the song are very low, so it's almost where it got almost too low. But she was saying, as we develop your breath control, all of those things will kind of, I guess, fall in line. So it's like you may listen to me singing something and be like, he sounds a hot mess. Like, how could he ever think that he could ever be something in singing or whatever? But the issue is if I work with that voice coach or whatever, and then we develop that, and then over, a year or a few months, whatever, and I develop that, then when you listen to me, you think, oh shit, he just sounds so good. But the reality is, I
Mm-hmm.
worked through that issue that was prohibiting me. And that's a conversation in itself. Like maybe I need to stop promoting because that's an issue because I feel like it's like I'm promoting this stuff, but I'm not wholly standing by it. But it's because I guess it's a part of my intro, so I'm used to saying it. And I stand by some of the content. But I guess but that's what you have to understand as someone who's not actually making content with you in it, because it's like I'm not ashamed of videos where I sound pitchy because I understand like those videos of me sounding pitchy aren't fully what it represent me, because that's why I can understand, because I'm like the Chasing Cars video versus the My All video sound like two different singers, because one is in my wheelhouse and working good, but the other one is sounding like, why did he even think he could pick up a microphone? So I understand your misgivings of like, especially with us talking about Quadir, who has all these delusions of grandeur. But I guess my thing is I understand my limitations, but I also understand my talents. But I think the issue for me is just like I'm bigger than a 50-second, 59-second clip. Like I guess that's my thing. Like I I'm not delusional, but
I'm just saying, as somebody who's you're not on the reality show where people are editing you. Like, you are deciding which of your content to post. So you should post your highlight reel. I'm sure you sing a lot more than you actually post. So only post your
I
best
agree
stuff
with
that
that.
you're
I
like,
agree with that.
I
But
could see
that's
that posted. Nobody's auto tuning you. Nobody's changing anything around to make it sound funny.
I
So
agree with you.
you
But
should
I
be
think that's
post
what
stuff.
you
You're
don't
like, if I hear
understand.
this
Like that's
back on
why
Qlassics channel, it sounds just as good as it does on my channel.
no.
So
But what I'm saying that you don't, I don't think understand is like first is like pretty much like first and foremost, like we as people grow and evolve. So it's like, sis, I may have thought that I was sounding sickening in that clip because that was from like a while back. So it's like, first,
It
it's
was
like,
a year and a half, maybe 2 years at max, year and a half.
what?
It was 2020.
What's it called? I don't think that I sound horrible in that video, but I do think there's things I could do better or whatever. But I guess my thing is, what's it called? Like, it feels like there's this very 0 or 100 type of thing. Oh, yeah, take control back. Why are you letting them change the narrative during the show or whatever? So I'm like, let's not forget what we said before or whatever. But I guess my thing is this, like, because I have this section in the video called "I'ma do it," because I feel like some people may try to do like. Here's my thing: I have the degree. I'm potentially going to go to graduate school, and that'll help me to even get more employment opportunities. So my thing is
That's
this:
wonderful.
and unlike Quadir Howard, I have never forced anybody or pressured anybody to listen to my covers or to support my content. That's like, what's it like? Even people, like, I don't pressure people to give money. I mean, it's an option if they want to donate, but I've never, like, I got like $20 of overall donation. So like, no shade, but like, to thanks to anyone who donated. But at the same time, that stuff,
No,
like,
same. I've only got, that's another misconception. I only, the tiny little window of time, I was like, oh, I'll throw up my Cash App for the holidays. It was like in the $20 range total, maybe 30 max. And I was impressed. And
so that's
then
my thing. Like $5
people take that
on,
narrative and run with it that, oh, somebody's paying him to say this and that. I'm like, oh, bye. I am paid by my employment.
yeah. So I'm like, I got $5 from Julian, $5 from my friend when I first started on my channel, and then $10 from Davina overall. So I'm like, the camera was funded by me. Like, everything, all the ring lights and different doodads or whatever is funded, but other than like the little stuff that different, the logos, everything is funded by me. So I guess my thing is like, when it comes to conversations about my singing, like, I've never, like, with Quadir, he's trying to coerce his audience into listening and supporting, and he's trying to coerce his audience who came a lot from his comedy and funny videos to listen to his music and to do whatever he wants. But I never pressured anybody to do it. So people have the right to critique my singing, and that's fine. But I think the issue I have when it comes to people talking about my singing is, let me, I guess, get my thoughts together. Is it's like, people try to make these false equivalences, and they do this too with Grace, of somehow me and Grace, like, Quadir tried to coerce people and guilt trip people into listening to his music. And with me and my covers, and me and with Grace, neither of us ever tried to coerce people, but somehow, like, and also too, like, he's also been doing this since 2006 and has had a lot more opportunity to, like, he's had a decade on me. So it's like, if I'm 33 and still trying to sing Brandy sounding crazy, it's like, you can read me the same way you can. I mean, you can read me because I'm a grown adult with my own autonomy, but it's like, I do think it is kind of annoying when people try to apply these false equivalences to, because it's like with Grace, if her videos are low budget, she's also like 23. Quadir is 33 years old, and like, even when people came for me for talking about his age, 33 years old and not being able to afford basic expenses and relying off Cash App is, whether or not, like, that's not good no matter how you look at it. But I guess my point with the singing stuff, I went all around the world and I. My thing with the point with the singing is, I never coerced anybody into listening to my singing. So people can critique it, but I feel a lot of the heat that people are giving me is like from this weird lens of like acting like I feel entitled. Like, it's like they're trying to make it like I pressured people into listening to my music or covers, or like, because my thing is, I'm not hurting anybody by posting my content. People can give their thoughts on it, but I don't know. It's weird to see people like that pressed that they're like, and even you, like, this idea of, it seems like you're kind of putting this weird effort into like humbling me and like putting me in my place. And maybe that's just you giving honest commentary, which is fine or whatever. But I do feel like that's this weird idea of like, there is this fixation in the Dirt Queen community and in general where people, it's like, there's this like, people feel good about like knocking someone down a peg or whatever. So I just, that's something I've noticed. But I guess going back to the point, I like my singing. I don't think my singing is beyond reproach. And I think I do need to, my plan is to start making content that I 100% feel proud of and can co-sign, and post that, and then go through all of my videos. And if it's not something I can fully back and say, if this was watched by a singer I admire or watched by someone who could theoretically give me an opportunity, I'd want them to see it. But I think that's the issue is I started the channel and only my friend was watching or whatever. Like, like you, it's because even you, like, you're putting your voice out there for the first time and they're giving their thoughts on why, like, they're giving you their thoughts on your voice for the first time. Like putting yourself out there on the internet is a unique experience or whatever. So it's like, the standards I hold myself by now are different than the standards and it's not that I didn't have standards before. It's just when you're actually putting yourself out there, there's a moment where you're like, oh shit, like a million people could see this. Like, wait a minute, like let me double check. So I think that's all my thoughts on. But going back to you and Quadir, like, do you not think that anything you've done has ever went into the boundary? Because people have been asking. So it's like, do you think anything you've done, like, do your friends know that you have this channel or that you have this commitment to this content creator? Like, do people in your personal life know about this? Are they weirded out by this?
Not at all. Not at all.
Do they know about it?
No, nobody. None of my friends. I have friends all over the country, and nobody knows who Quadir is. He's irrelevant.
But do you feel like if you told, like, whoever your significant partner or your friend or whatever, if you told them, hey, I have a channel where I've uploaded 193 videos about somebody.
Oh,
And
they'd
even if
probably
you
be
wanted
like,
to,
"What the fuck is wrong with you?" They'd be like, are you crazy?" And I'd be like, "Yeah."
so you don't think
But
that would be like, that's kind of weird. Like, like, does that make you feel like, do you feel any guilt or like, have you felt any guilt when he's gotten all worked up and upset about Qlassics, knowing that with a click of a button you could turn it off?
I'm sorry, repeat the question.
Have you ever like seen him get worked up about Qlassics and upset and angry and thought like, wow, with the click of a button I could stop all this upset feelings that he's having? If I just said click delete,
No,
I could
because
stop all
it's
this.
not genuine. Because, well, I've thought about, well, if I say I shut down Classics today, what would that response be? And actually, I tried it. It was a social experiment when I did the fake account suspended. I did it twice. I did it a year ago and then a few months ago. And I remember he came by gloating like, yeah, we got him. Went back to grabbing all the girls' cash, and I'm like, no. If I saw that he was genuinely like, God, not to say that I'm like, and people try to say, oh, Classics get some kind of sick satisfaction. Like, bitch, like I said from the beginning, I'm here for the entertainment, I'm here for the shits. But if I did see he was genuinely like, guys, I was a stupid young kid, and
But even
I
you
said all
saying that,
these.
like, your reaction seemed contingent upon his response, where
They
it's like,
are
but doesn't that,
because
so there's a link, like, there's a direct
if
correlation between how Quadir responds and how you feel,
if I
which kind of
saw that
takes it away from this hobby talk of, oh, I just shouldn't get a shit and giggle with this, like it's not anything deep, you know?
if I saw that he was like, guys, like, I made some stupid videos, some stupid political videos, some stupid statements, but now I'm trying to just turn my life around and this content is haunting me, blah, blah, blah. That would make me be like, okay, what the fuck? I'll help him out and just delete it. But the fact that he's doubling down on all his ignorance and all his bad behavior, I
But that's the
enjoy
thing too, though,
laughing and
like,
watching.
because it's funny because you like poke fun at me, but I feel like I was the main one because Grace, no shade, she like is kind of a turf, so she didn't really call it the transphobia, and even I feel like Julian didn't really call out the like, so it's like, and I'm not like, I don't know, I feel like it's like, even if you clearly take issue what he said, but do you think that just re-uploading it was enough versus like, I don't know, like I don't know that you've necessarily explicitly done because even with Lipstick Alley being a transphobic space, there's some Quadir Howard fans who feel very comfortable in that being a transphobic space. So do you feel as a Classics, because some of the people who are transphobic as hell, they're getting their life to your content because it's like, oh my gosh, but you're reading Quadir down. So if you have issue with that, do you feel like that issue with that should come through in your content?
I've never thought about it that way because I never align Quadir ever since I've known like that Quadir is a gay man from the beginning. I never aligned him very much with the trans space, and I didn't know about Lipstick Alley I didn't know about Lipstick Alley until Quadir kept shouting about it. And even then, once I finally signed up, it was very rare that I ventured outside of the Quadir specific threads. So I mean, if you're telling me that, I think that's unfortunate. I'm not transphobic, and I'm not an expert on the topic, but I do have at least one trans friend, and yeah, I definitely don't hold any bigotry towards trans people, but I don't know how much I can say about a website, because is the onus on the owner of the website? Is it on the participants? Is it on the
But I
people
guess
in
my
this
thing though is
thread?
I feel like I don't know. It feels weird because it's like it feels like that's the thing with like being so separated from your content with it being queer. So like you can read my engagement or whatever, and then which is presumably because you're reading my engagement because you're assuming like it's low in comparison to yours, even though your engagement
Because
is
most
like
of your
read
videos, it's only
backwashed.
one. I'm like, oh, it has one comment. Look, it has one comment. And then I click and it's your own comment. So I'm like, damn, it's actually 0 comments. But
But see,
that's
that's the
neither here nor
thing though.
there.
Like that's what you because that's the thing. Like, and that's something I realized myself as a content creator. Like what's it called? If I had made a Chloe Stan account, Chloe is someone who has an influence of millions of people because that's been built since she was singing with her little sister and the thing. If I make a Family Guy account, millions of people already engaged or whatever. Oh, well, with Grace, why were you engaging with her content? I guess my thing with Grace, I never co-signed Grace as a pop of culture or whatever, so that's my thing. I never like what's it called with Grace. I never co-signed, and I also feel like I'm kind of pragmatic. Like I don't know with Grace, I think her transphobia is problematic, but at the same time, it's very much like the I don't even know how to put it. Grace's transphobia, like Grace can give a reaction on Quadir while like Grace's transphobia is problematic, but Quadir is also transphobic. So like if I engage with like a By the Grace We Rise or a Grace video, I'm only really commenting on her thoughts on Quadir rather than you know what I mean? Like I don't really know how to put it, but that's how I feel. You know what I mean? Like, but going back to what I was saying, Qlassics, I feel like you don't have a real perspective of what it's like to be at like as a content creator, because you have always been rehashing content from someone with over 100,000 views and over a million views that has been on YouTube since 2006. So the problem with that is people were Quaddy already had an existing fan base. But as a pop of culture, you can read my one comment or 5 likes, but that's coming from me building something off of nothing. And yes, there's criticism to say like, oh, you could do this, you could do that, and I'm still trying to grow and figure out ways to grow. But I do think until you say, okay, this is Qlassics or Laquan, and I'm giving my thoughts on the world, etc., until you put a camera in front of your face, like no one understands that. So it's kind of like that's why I feel like it's kind of hard for you to like talk about my covers or talk about because you can evaluate the singing or you can talk about the merits of my videos. But I think the issue with you saying some of the things you're saying is until you start from zero, actually making stuff from your own volition, like from your own heart of like, oh, this is something I think, oh, this is a story that happened to me, and like actually grinding and trying to do something. Like 500 from zero means a lot more for someone creating their own content versus somebody who's re-uploading someone else's content. So it's like I feel like you're skating by when quality re-uploads, but you're trying to like look down on somebody who's doing stuff on their own volition of their own stuff or whatever. So, but what are your thoughts on that?
Well, these 500 people, where are they when it's time to
Oh, but
engage with your
to
talk?
Vixen, if I say that's something that Grace, you can go, I guess, but I'll just address the Grace thing and you can go. But my thing is to the Vixen, I never excused Grace's stuff or whatever. I never said like, hey, wait a
There's
minute,
someone in the
like this is.
comments named the Vixen. Just to clarify, you're not talking to me.
But going back to the Vixen, I never excused Quadir's stuff about Grace's transphobia. It was never okay. But my thing is like, I don't know, like her reaction to Quadir can be funny. Like I guess I don't believe in like because Grace said something transphobic, now I have to banish all of her content and never watch it. Like Grace can Grace can be because even with people making Quadir into a victim, like people saying, "Oh, well, your content really hurt Quadir." It's like you could also say that him reading me, like I guess that's my issue. Is like I feel like we as critical thinkers can be pragmatic or whatever, where we say, "Oh, agreed with something Grace said, that doesn't mean that I'm co-signing." Like we can agree with like I can like a By the Grace We Rise video without actually being co-signing her transphobia. But any comments from you, Classics?
Like I said earlier, or I typed earlier in the thread on LSA, I don't put much stock into the side characters. I don't.
But see, that's
I
the
mean,
thing. Like even that, like I made content before Quadir, and then it's like, but now it's like I'm like the Quadir Howard Dirt Queen plaything, which I mean, it is what it is or whatever. But I also feel like it's like because you're not actually making content, and I honestly challenge you. Like I challenge you to upload a 5-minute video. I mean, you can edit it, do whatever you like, saying hi, my name is Laquan or whatever your name is, and you're saying. Wait, to the Vixen. Honestly, the Vixen, you can cop in the chat because it's kind of confusing to like go back and forth from the chat to this to the whatever. But I guess my thing is with Classics, you can keep your anonymity, but I also feel like until you actually put yourself out there in a meaningful way.
Pop, you realize that the person called the Vixen, that's not me typing. That's somebody else.
Yes. I'm just saying
Okay.
I'm just telling them, person in the chat, you're like, it's kind of hard to keep up with your points while also talking to Classics or whatever. So if you want to chat, just like, I'll invite you to, let me see. I'll invite you to.
Can we do a three-way call?
Okay, I invited the Vixen. But yeah, I guess my thing is I challenge you to upload a 5-minute video and you could literally delete it after 24 hours. But I feel like until you actually understand what it's like to put yourself out there in some type of way, I feel like it's kind of difficult for you to like nitpick other people. Because even me, I used to do it too, where I'm like, oh, well, if I was on camera, I would be and I would do this and or whatever. But I think there is this like very humbling process of like, oh, shoot, like editing videos takes a long time, like coming up with a topic, like, and if you don't come on camera right, people will read you. Like, there's a process of like, oh shit, this is harder than it looks. And I think maybe since you've gotten these numbers off of somebody else's kind of labor, I think you may not see that or whatever. And I feel like you do kind of play that game of, because even too, when you're trying to like pin me to the Lipstick Alley account, like, and then you're trying to say, oh, well, he likes Normani and they're repping Normani and whatever.
There are
It's
more
like,
similarities than that, boo. You take a warrior stance against Grace's situation. I get a DM from Sung L back in the day. You know Grace is a turf, right? Both with the Normani similarities. I've already pointed out the similarities in typing style. Like, come on, we just reaching.
in typing style.
I'm gonna be nice and stop talking about it, but I see you.
But see, my thing is this, even all of that, you can no longer say you're a hobbyist. So it's like, even if you want to say I'm this Lipstick Alley account, then you have to go through all of the steps that you took to try to arrive at that in conclusion, which negates your hobbyist argument.
Okay.
So it's like, you can't, I like, just say that you're interested in Quadir and that you like giving commentary or poking fun at Quadir, because that's easier than like this I don't care when I do care type of like.
I mean, this is just like a side story to the Quadir universe, is the fact that this little have you ever situation popped off. Everybody rushed to the aid of poor little APOC. Pop is just so nice. He never says anything. When all these girls were just dogging and burying and blocking and this font, and I'm like, y'all, that's the same person. So in that moment, I felt it was my mission to just put the truth in front of people. They can do whatever they want. They can double down and be like, whoa, we don't care if it's that annoying ass guy that we hated. We still like a pop culture. That's fine. But like, I just want to like show y'all, hey, you realize the guy you're riding for so hard right now is the guy you were just kicking his back in like the past few months.
Also like,
and you scared him out of the thread.
Like, see, that also like, that's the thing I'm saying that doesn't make sense, because it's like, what's it called? Like, I feel like it seems like you have more of an issue with this perception of who I am as a content creator than you have with like the collective actions of people within the whole Dirt Queen situation.
I never had any of these issues until.
But that's you assuming. Like, even with Julian, I had some misgiving. Like, it's like this idea of nothing ever means anything until I click upload on a video. Like, I'm not a person with feelings and thoughts or whatever before then.
Honestly, I was never checking for you. I was never checking for Suddenly Blue.
Even though you were trying to connect me to an account and trying to Because even if there's all these
Until
similarities, that meant there was some
that only
type
came
of.
up after you got my video striked. You can call it petty, but that was the catalyst. Before that, I gave no shits. The video was just for giggles. It's down now. And honestly, the video is deleted. Yes, it's on Odyssey, but I deleted the community post because I told people in Lipstick Alley, you know what? I'm going back to a neutral mindset. I'm not going to talk shit about whatever, about the side characters. And once that was all done, then I'm chilling thinking it's all over. And last night I get a pop-up, oh, this dissertation on classics. And I'm like, oh, let me watch this bullshit.
But
And then
see,
so I'm
and
like, you
that's
reopened
but
a can of worms and you're kicking a dead horse that was already, it was done with. There's nothing on my page that has to do with you. I wasn't continuing to, I never actually went
but
out of my way to
you
comment on
but
your
no
page.
but you co-signed Julian after it was proven that he threatened to dox people, and then
Why are we
but because you
pivoting to
took it
that?
down, somehow it never happened.
Why are we pivoting to Julian now?
Because you're saying, oh well, I took down the community tab, but let's not play. You put it on Odyssey because, but it's like, it's like your moment of
Odyssey is
pettiness is
automatic.
somehow acceptable, and you co-signing
Odyssey is a
someone like
website. Sorry for everybody.
what?
Odyssey is a website. You link your YouTube account and then it has access to your YouTube where anything you upload, it automatically copies it to Odyssey. So
But
that's
you
why that exists.
advertised. We all know the function of Odyssey, but you advertised Odyssey with the intention of getting people to watch the video after it's been taken down. But you get
Because
the
I
excuse
took
that
time to make it and I
I
was
just had
proud
a
of it.
moment
I
of
wanted people
petty,
to see it. I wanted to see
huh?
it. What if it's like when you're a kid, you make a little drawing for your mom, and be like, Mom, look at this drawing, look at it. Somebody rips it up. Oh hell no. I'm gonna find another copy. Be like, look at what I made. I want the admiration. I want the
But see, that's the
kikis.
thing, or whatever. Like, here's my thing with you, classics. I feel like I'd
That's not.
like you
What if you
better
made a
if you
singing
just said,
video and somebody just deleted it? Like you'd be like, no, that's me. I made that.
you made the video, but like I don't know. Like, I guess that's my thing because I feel like you're like trying to play both games. Like, you're trying to be the aloof person who just likes to make funny videos on YouTuber, but then there's also like this language you're using of, oh well, of what's it called? Of like, oh, he's manipulating his audience again. Like it's like you. It seems like you are very have studied the way that Quadir works in his live streams, where you can kind of where like even the way you watch his live streams, where like, oh well, now he's doing this, but eventually he'll carry back to this. It seems very much like you're a very active viewer in like you have a lot of investment in Quadir and also surrounding parties relating to Quadir. And I mean that's fine. Like that's what you do with your personal time. But it's also like at least own up to it. Like I feel like you're like you can't be aloof and like also try to like you can't play both parts. Like because even what you're
It's
saying, what are you saying?
it's it's not. I can play both parts though because it's not something that's like serious in my life, but it's kind of like, yeah, I threw up the videos on the YouTube, but it evolved into this situation where I'm kind of like the manager of this, this site. I got comments to look through. I got, people asking, oh, can you do this? Can you post this? Can you make this edit? Oh, can we have a key? It's almost like I'm like a pseudo YouTuber through this.
But see, that's the
So
thing. Like, as long as you play and keep this pseudo YouTuber role up, what's it called? I'm trying to not lose my train of thought. But my thing is, it's like, as long as you play in this fake YouTuber role, you're never gonna understand what it's like for anybody. Because even with Julian, even though I don't agree with everything Julian's done and said, and he's done the damn most, I can relate to like people were coming for him, and some of that was because some of these people who are Quadir Howard haters, it's like it's not even really about what we're saying or what we're doing. It's about the fact that we had the gall to. That's why even though I'm not happy about Grace's transphobia, that still doesn't justify comments about her breast or her size or etc. But it's like as long as you get to play this role of where you get to dibble dabble with the messy lipstick alley girls or whatever. Oh shit, that's my radio or whatever. But my thing is, as long as you get to dibble dabble in like you feel like a YouTuber because you are crossing these milestones and you're getting views and comments, but because you're not actually putting yourself out there, I legitimately have more respect for Grace. I'll say his name Julian, suddenly blew to irrelevant Aaron and others because like until you And like I said, I challenge you, a 5-minute video, you can delete it after tomorrow or whatever. You can delete it or whatever. And then, but like until you get that, like you're not gonna understand what it's like. So you're gonna like keep reading me and reading others or whatever out of this
I have no
perspective of like,
intentions to read. I have no intentions to read you in the future. I just wanted to address this real quick, since I might as well grace your inaugural what podcast or whatever you want to call this.
well, I mean, this was a fun little conversation. I mean, I guess I get what they're saying. I don't get what you want to say. I mean, this was a
I don't know
little...
what the future of Qlassics holds. Honestly, I probably will end up deleting it just because it does. It takes time. It doesn't take all my time, but it takes time, and I'd rather move on from it. And I'm just gonna say to anybody listening, if there's anything you really love, save it now, because it's probably not going to be up forever. So
okay, well,
yeah.
I guess thanks for joining this situation. I guess what more? Yes, one question. I guess a few questions, and then we're gonna cut this off. It's been going too long. But I guess first question. So, were there any points you said, he's kind of right in that video? Like, where you listened to it and you're like, that kind of does sound a little right. It felt like you had a little tingle in you where you thought I was speaking some truth.
I mean, a lot of it, I guess, was right. It was kind of obvious to me, but like I said, it's for the keys. Like, you can take this moral high ground of, oh, like he's posting somebody having a breakdown, and like, well, yeah, but we're all complicit, just like YouTube. We're all complicit. We're all watching, we're keying, and we know, at least we know, Quadier's going to be fine with that big ass head of his. He loves himself so much. He'll be fine.
Okay, and then I guess any other comment? I guess since you're so fluent in my commentary, I guess because that was one of the points of this is like giving people a chance to give feedback. So since I'm getting so little engagement, have you actually watched any of my non-Quadier related videos?
I can't say I've watched any in their entirety. That I can.
So I mean, is there any thoughts or whatever?
Bits here and there. I don't. I think you. I mean, I'm not an expert, but I think you should come off a little bit more conversational and less scripted, because it kind of sounds scripted and a little dense. It's a lot of words at once for people to process.
Like story times or just overall commentary?
I would say the commentaries.
I guess
it's almost like it's like the sentence structure. It's all very like, well, I think this, then this. But like, I don't know. I feel like if you watch like Ostefco, or like how she kind of tells a story and it's more like conversational, or like even maybe Kimberly Nicole Foster. I'm pretty sure I've seen you in their threads on LSA.
What's it called? But you're a hobbyist, right? Who just is aloof and doesn't really care too much about things, right?
I'm a consumer. I'll say that I consume content.
But I guess, what's it called? I guess for me with my commentary, that's the hard part, because I feel like scripting things gives you a certain level of like authority of like, I thought about this and like I'm speaking, because I feel like conversational, it can turn into like, conversational can work, but that's why I've been dabbling with it in story times. I don't know. I feel like scripts, I guess, make me feel like I'm giving a certain authority.
I would say like, less paragraphs, more bullet points.
But I guess it's also like, are you talking about, because like, can you think of a specific, like if you're talking bits and pieces, like there was like the recent stuff I did was the darkness, the what's the other one, the story times, the Justin J video.
Wait, I'm pulling up your page right now because it shows me the status bar at the bottom where I can see in the red how much I've actually watched. So it looks like the darkness I only watched like 10%. I only watched like, what the fuck? Half of the looking good, feeling good. Old drama. College story time, I didn't watch that much. Let me click.
Theory, I want to advertise my cover channel, Pop of Culture Sings, where I sing throwback R&B, contemporary R&B, pop music with other people that added to the story time who are also relevant. Wait, which video is that?
Yeah, I would just...
I would just say I don't know. I mean, you should make it more like you're talking to a friend and less like an essay. That's all. That's my
Well, I mean, I guess
opinion.
thanks for your feedback, Classics. This has been a very interesting conversation. So, I mean, go about your way, do your thing. If anyone else wants to give commentary, because it seems like there's other people in the chat too. So, thanks, Classics.
I hope y'all were
will say,
entertained. I hope y'all were gagged and gooped because I knew. See, I do everything for entertainment. I was like when I do my live Kiki's, I'm like, the girls are gonna gag. If I was on the other end of the screen, I'd be like, oh my god. So I'm like, if I heard, oh my god, Classics is doing a video or a phone call, I'm like, bitch, y'all welcome. I hope you got some entertainment out of this because
well, thanks.
I'm
Yes,
tired as hell.
hopefully
I just got off work.
presence will give me
All right.
some.
Well, I wish you the
engagement.
best. I have no ill will toward you. Yeah.
Yeah, have a good evening wherever you are.
Alrighty, good night.
Bye-bye.
I don't know how to hang up. Oh, here we go.
Bye. Okay, so that was a lot of